Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Diddy Gate continues. We are here talking about the latest, but more specifically, this report coming in from the Notorious B.I.G, Biggie Smalls, Christopher Wallace's mom coming out of the woodwork saying, I want to slap the daylights out of Sean Combs. Whoo! She wants to slap the daylights out of him. Why? Why does she want to do that? Well, let's talk about it. I hope to God he sits his mother down and spills his guts and apologizes to her, says Volata Wallace. There she is. The Rolling Stone, which we reported on yesterday in our live, hope you caught it, did a 6-month investigation into the abuse of Sean Combs. Notorious B.I.G.'s mother told Rolling Stone she hopes that the bad boy mogul apologizes to Cassie, his mother, and that she wants to slap the daylights out of him. It's been a steady stream of harrowing allegations that have come forward, as we know. But responding to that tape specifically, I'm sick to my stomach about the multiple allegations. I'm praying for Cassie. I'm praying for his mother. I don't want to believe the things that I've heard, but I've seen the video. I pray that he apologizes to her. I hope that I see Sean one day, and the only thing I want to do is the daylight out of him. You can quote me on that, because I liked him. I didn't want to believe all the awful things, but I'm so ashamed and embarrassed. Rolling Stone documented a pattern of alleged bad behavior back then, and it really goes into the relationship with Biggie, and made a point of trying to take over for Biggie, if you will. Biggie was gunned down in a drive-by, apparently, but some say otherwise. We're going to play some clips from Gene Deal, who says that's not what happened. But more is coming forward on how much Diddy, Puffy at the time, was capitalizing on Biggie's death. His album, Life After Death, literally dropped, I think it was like weeks after he died. They had a plan and it still came. It was even called that, which is so crazy. Who produces an album called that, knows it, and then just happens to have him die, his star artist on his label? The whole thing is nuts. It's truly nuts. And the rumors coming in now, reports coming in during that Rolling Stone article as they talked to the experts, was that Biggie was supposed to be apparently trying to leave Diddy's Bad Boy Records prior to his death. Several interviews corroborated this allegation in the new Rolling Stone expose. Several people interviewed corroborated that Combs was in a battle against the late rapper's lawyers, and he was attempting to regain his publishing rights. I will never give it up until I'm dead and my bones are crushed into powder, the exec said, as per his book, The Big Paycheck. Hip-hop photographer Monique Bunn said Biggie was absolutely about to leave Puff. I know for a fact because he told me. While another unnamed source said everybody wanted to leave Puffy, everybody leaves Puffy. Biggie was then shot and killed in March 1997. Combs reportedly took the situation and capitalized on the shock and sorrow. He denied the leave request of LaJoyce Brookshire, former publicity director who was traveling with the rapper that day before his death. Instead of letting her process her grief, he tasked her with ensuring that Biggie's posthumous album would go #1 upon its release. A few months after the killing, Bad Boy was approached by Rolling Stone for a cover opportunity, one that the label co-founder and then president Kirk Burrows suggested go to the late rapper Biggie Smalls. Combs said, no, he's dead. I'm putting out No Way Out in July. I need to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. Burrows shared, and ultimately landed Diddy on the cover in August of 1997. How effed is that? That is so messed up. He blocked Biggie getting a cover, his only chance left to get the cover of Rolling Stone, which was a big deal at the time, to put himself on the cover. I need to be on the cover. Some friend he was, huh? Not mourning it. And I remember all this because I didn't really pay attention back then, but when it all went down, it was I'll Be Missing You, which was the Police song. Puffy was putting himself out there doing this big sorrow, sad party, but it was all to promote this album. That's what this was. And it's wild. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Does anyone know? Was I'll Be Missing You always on the album? Like it was done and ready before it went to print, weeks before his death? And that song was on there? Or was that added as a single later? Does anyone know? Either way, clearly many examples have been exploiting the death of Christopher Wallace, Biggie Smalls. And it's gross, man. And you realize that this was never even really solved. 15 years after his death, the autopsy report was put out there. Many people have been trying to solve this case, just like they have been trying to do with Tupac. But Biggie and Tupac were in this West Coast, East Coast rap rivalry. But many are now implying and suggesting that Diddy could have been more involved. Now, I'm going to put this very clear. I'm not suggesting this at all. I'm not trying to say Diddy murdered his friend Biggie. Some don't believe it, but some do. And if you look at the timeline of events of what went down, Diddy capitalized tremendously. So much so, he admitted it, but he also Combs admits he feels responsible for Biggie's death. Here's a snippet from Wendy Williams.
That you say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the fateful night, Biggie was killed.
Mm-hmm.
At the height of his career.
Yes.
Do you ever feel responsible in any way?
Mm-hmm.
In any way?
I mean, the thing that I think I always feel some sort of, responsibility because I'm in this thing with him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's my artist, and he was supposed to go to London that night, and I let him talk me into, not going to London and staying in LA, and that that's something that really bothered me, throughout my life. Is sometimes you have to really go with that decision in your gut, and in my gut I was like, you need to get on the plane, but sometimes when you don't listen to your gut, and this is God's world, it's His plan.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's one of the things I regret, not making sure that he went to London.
That look at the end.
Honestly, that's one of the things I regret, not making sure that he went to London.
Cool. Jeez. I got to take a screen cap of that one. Oh, that's a good frame grab. Saving that one. Ugh. Look, I got no proof he did anything. I got no proof of it. And I'm not even trying to say he did. But let's look at Jaguar Wright, who explains how much he profited from it.
Puffy has been making money off of Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he died. It's been over 25 years. Fucking Puffy has been making money on that boy's name longer than he lived. It supported all of Bad Boy. His catalog. Clearly, a Biggie Smalls verse is very valuable, the commission. What happened to that album? It was recorded. It was being mixed and mastered upon Biggie's death. It was supposed to have came out that summer after Biggie's album because Biggie's album was slated. He died a week and a half before his album came out. Then the commission was supposed to come out, and that was supposed to be his exit from Bad Boy. And then starting his own company. So tell me something. I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1.
There it is. A lot of truth coming in. Now let's go to Gene Deal, his bodyguard.
He was put in a place to try to save this kid's life. And I seen the joy, the pain. I seen all the bullshit unfold. I saw this kid lose his life. This kid died while I was pulling him out the car. He had died, man. It just hurt because they lie too much, man. A lot of that shit be lies the way they put it together because they listening to these white boys who wasn't even there. How the hell and I don't want to make this racial, but they take these white boys who wasn't even there and want to use the story that they want to tell, which is not the truth. Wasn't no drive-by. Car was standing there at the corner. We talk about this shit all the time, bruh. The stories they tell, it's not truthful. And now people are sitting here believing every Biggie movie that you've seen, they say it's a drive-by. When the witness tell you the car was stood right there at the corner, the car was probably there all night.
when you go back to that night, right, when Biggie, how does that feel when you think about it now, knowing that Biggie Killer was watching y'all that whole night, plotting on killing Biggie?
Bruh, before we left Andre Harrell's house, Puff told me I didn't have to go. Now, I went because I knew that somebody was going to die that night. Somebody was going to get shot. I did everything in my power to stop it from being Puff. And it wasn't Puff. Because that was my principle. The people that was bodyguarding Big didn't do everything in their power to stop it from being Big. And that hurts me.
Intense, man. Now, documentaries all say that there's some documentaries alleging that, I guess one Diddy took out the hit on Tupac and Suge Knight, and Knight retaliated with a hit on Biggie. That's part of the theory. So look, that's not impossible. But the reality is then, yeah, Biggie's death is on Diddy because he's the one who had it going on Shakur, which then prompted the retaliation in the first place. Now, is the idea that could have Diddy taken out Biggie because he was a threat and because he was going to leave Bad Boy and it was going to be better for him monetarily to do so? I mean, that's not impossible. It's not an impossible theory. Faith Evans, Biggie's widow, said this: "What I know is that Puff would never have Big killed, would never be involved in the murdering of one of his best friends. That's outside of him being his artist. You know what I'm saying? I know without a doubt that if that's the case, then we would have sued Puff a long time ago if we felt that way. You don't think they tried to get us to do that?" So that's interesting. And she's close, obviously, and she's right. Why wouldn't they have tried to do something? You would think that. You'd think that. So, or maybe they just had no proof. Why didn't anybody come forward about Diddy all this time? There was a lot of things that people thought about Diddy that are proving to be true or shocking. So, I don't know, man. And then it comes way back around to the fact that Biggie's mom not having good thoughts about, Biggie's mom is not having good thoughts about Diddy. Could there be more to it? Could he have actually been involved? Now, look, I don't know. Again, a speculation warning was up there. Protect myself legally, everything else, because I got no proof here. We're just talking. But it's not out of the realm of impossibilities. It's not. Diddy was pushing him out of Rolling Stone covers. Diddy was making a lot of money. Diddy was forcing himself on every hit song that Biggie made. He's the worst part of those songs. Hypnotize. When you listen to them all, Diddy always had to be like, yeah, yeah. Put himself in the videos, put himself in the song. He knew that was his money earner, and he was trying to make himself become a star. He even put Diddy put Biggie on a ton of his tracks as well. So look, you go back, Diddy was monetarily incentivized to keep him on the label and keep more of the stuff coming. And if he was going to lose him, if Diddy is this mafia boss, it's not that that's much of a stretch, right? To think he might try to take him out or have someone do it. Again, that's a complete theory. I'm not saying Diddy did that. I got to protect myself. But what do you guys think? I asked the poll. I'm going to ask a poll as we're live. I didn't have the poll. But I'm going to ask you guys in a poll, and if you want to watch the full live show, we did a lot. We talked about a lot of stuff, including the theory. Did he hook up with Carl Winslow's from Family Matters, the dad? Reginald Val Johnson? Yeah, the guy from Die Hard. Well, that's the rumor that's coming in from this rapper Loose Cannon, who brought it up. We went through that and so much more in the live. We also talked about the recent news coming into our former president. If you want to watch the live, become a member over on Patreon. You can watch the full stream there. You can also hit the subscribe button here, hit the bell, become part of our notification squad, hit that thumbs up, leave your thoughts and comments down below. Let me know what you think. I want to know what you think on this. Do you think Diddy could be involved in the Biggie murder? Is it too far for even him? I want your theories.